In this video, I'm going to talk you through what happens in a fitting. Fittings are a really exciting time because they're your dedicated time to collaborate with the actor on what the character will look like on stage. But they also might be a really vulnerable time for the actor since they're going to be changing their clothes. So you want to make sure that when they come into the room, they feel safe and at ease. So tell them where they can put down their backpack, make sure they know everyone in the room, which will probably include you, your assistant if you have one, and then the shop manager and or your faculty mentor to help you through that fitting process. So make sure everyone's been introduced, and then you want to show the actor the sketch that you're trying to arrive at so that you're both on the same page and they know what you're going for and so that you're reminded of what you're going for.
So for example, for this example fitting we're going to be working off of this sketch. So this is what we're trying to accomplish.
And then it's great to ask them how rehearsal is going. This is a good icebreaker question, but it also can give you some insight into what's happening in the room. And then you're going to go ahead and hand the actor the first outfit that you want them to try on and let them go into the private fitting booth, which we have in the dressing rooms, or if you're doing the fitting in the costume shop, you can give them the costume to change into and then you can step outside of the room and tell them to come out when they're ready for you to see it. Once the actor is in the costume, you're going to be assessing it for several different things. One of those things is fit. Does it fit the actor's body properly? Another one of those things is aesthetics. Does it match your sketch? And the third thing is, can the actor do what they need to do in the costume and do they feel comfortable in it? And as you're assessing these things and figuring out what you might need to change or adjust to make them possible, you're going to take notes on a note sheet that looks like this. And on this note sheet, you want to go ahead and write down every item that the actor is trying on. So write down the pants, the shoes, the socks, everything should be on here. Because that way you know that everything has been tried on and everything is accounted for. And then you're going to write down anything that you have to do to the costume item, like hem the pants up 2 inches, or dye the skirt purple. And also, if you write down shirt and you tried on 3 shirts and none of them worked, then your note would be find a shirt that works, right? So you have this note sheet to keep track of everything during the fitting. So once the actor comes out with the costume on, you want to make sure that you have all of the costume pieces there. So make sure you've got a hat, you've got any jewelry, make sure you have the shoes. That's really important for assessing the length on pants or a skirt or a dress. And so then you can talk about fit issues. So you can see here we have a fit issue, right? She can't button these buttons. And she felt fine coming out and showing me this because I remembered to give her the undershirt. So she's not in any way naked or exposed, but the shirt didn't button all the way. So now I, as a designer, might ask Theo, my shop manager, is it possible to make this blouse fit? And in this case, the answer would be no. As we said in a previous video, it's really hard to make things bigger. And I can check on the seam allowance of this blouse, and I can see that there's not enough there for me to make this fit. So then as the designer, I might have a couple of options. One thought I might have with this blouse is that maybe we could unbutton all buttons. What would it look like open over the camisole? So then I might ask the performer to unbutton the rest of the buttons, and we could see what that looks like. So now we see that it looks like this. So maybe I like this option, maybe I don't. If I kind of like this, but now it's a little different from my sketch, I might say, let's go ahead and take a picture of this to show the director, and then we're going to try on a different blouse. So I might take a picture of this and then hand another blouse to the performer and ask them to go ahead and try that blouse on as well. So now we've got a different shirt. And this shirt doesn't have the same fit problems as the last shirt. You can see that it fits a lot better. But it looks very different. So you might want to take a picture of this outfit as well. And then you have 2 options, which are each a little bit different from your sketch in different ways. And you might show both of these to the director because the original designs are both your artistic vision and they're something that you and the director have agreed upon together. So if the finished costume is going to deviate significantly from those original sketches you discussed with the director, it's important that you talk about that with them to make sure that you both like where things have ended up. The other thing you want to ask in the fitting is to ask the performer if they feel like they can do what they need to do in the costume. So if they know that they have to like do a certain dance move, they might want to try that out in the fitting. And that's a great idea so that you don't end up at tech and they try to reach up in this shirt for the first time and it rips and it's like a whole big thing. If they try that in the fitting, it's going to be easier to troubleshoot how you can solve that problem, because a lot of times we can do things like adding what's called a gusset in the armpit of a shirt to make it able to move with the performer. The performer might also have concerns that aren't directly related to fit, but are directly related to how they feel in a particular garment. And it's important for you to hold firm in your designs and not necessarily give in immediately, but you also want to listen to them and really hear their concerns, because it's possible you'll be able to set those concerns at ease, or that you'll be able to come up with a compromise that makes you both feel comfortable. So for example, if you've put an actress in high heels and they don't often wear heels, they might be worried about that because they're not sure if they can feel safe wearing heels on stage. And a way that you could solve that is to give them the shoes for rehearsal. That way they have time to get used to it or to figure out that this just really won't work. So now you've taken care of any fit notes, you've made sure the actor feels comfortable, and now you want to make sure you're as close to the sketch as possible and you've taken any notes about anything you can change aesthetically about the outfit to make it work. So for example, if I was looking at this, I might love this hat as far as its style, but it might feel too boring for the outfit. So I could take a note to change out this hat band for a green one, and that might help it come closer. You also want to make sure you have a conversation with the actor about their hair and their makeup for the show. If it's possible in the fitting, if you just need them to like put it up in a ponytail and you can ask them to do that real quick so you see what that looks like, that's great. If that's not possible, that's fine too, but so that you know what to expect and you've taken care of any of their concerns ahead of time. If you're asking them to do something, they're like, my hair just can't hold a curl, or it would take me 2 hours to do that. It's not feasible for me to do that for every performance. It's great to have those conversations before tech so that you're not surprised in the moment. And then once you're satisfied with the look, you can ask the actor to get back into their regular clothes. And while they're doing that, or after they leave, you're going to transfer your notes from this big note sheet to little individual note sheets that you can pin to each costume piece. And then they're going to go back on a rack in the shop with their notes on them so that the shop manager and any students who are working in the shop can really easily see this just needs a label. We need to replace the hat band on this hat. We need to hem this skirt, whatever the notes may be. So to review, take a look at this sketch and the fitting photo. What are some things you notice that are different between the sketch and the fitting photo? What do you think you could do to the costume in the fitting photo to make it a little bit closer to the sketch?